going to talk about, and we're going to talk about multiple streams of income. Bill, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Al. Go on.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight into screen share. And what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to turn $60 into $10,000 by using the 10 by 10 principle. After this presentation, there's another presentation which I'm doing, which is how to face rejections in marketing. So there's two parts to the presentation. So let's kick off with the first part. So I just want to get there we are. And one of the big things is when you get into affiliated marketing, network marketing, is to find leaders. And how do you build leaders? So what I like to find out is, what have you learned in this COVID times and the pandemic? And here's a couple of things what I've learned. Just hang on 1 second. Why is that doing that? Is everybody is trying to sell you an opportunity. And I was on Mark's call, and everybody is trying to tell you that their product is better than somebody else's product. If it's crypto, or if it's health and wellness, if it's a holiday, somebody's trying to sell you something. And what I'm trying to do here is to find the product that suits you and to feel comfortable, because what we're trying to do here is, just want to see who's in the chat. Okay, hello, Davis. To show you what a person can achieve through understanding what products you are comfortable with, because people buy from people, we don't sell. And 95% of the people on social media is trying to sell you an opportunity. But the product companies tell you must focus on one company. Now, I've got a problem with this. I mean, I look at companies we were involved with, MTI, Carrot Bars, and we can carry on through a couple of these different products. I say split your risk into different opportunities. When we look at a couple of the banks that went under, you look at the housing market in 2008, which has crashed. All of these type of things hampers your income. And as Bob Proctor said, you have to have multiple sources of income. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, I've seen it so many times when I was in the insurance business. We put people's money into certain portfolios. Sometimes they do good, sometimes they do bad. But, you know, when recession hits, people lose money. You take, for instance, now with pension funds. How many pension funds is tied up with government? And they are using that money for parastatals. Some people are only getting a 1% return on their pensions. So that's why we have to look at different angles to generate additional income by using multiple streams of income. So my focus is to help my leaders to duplicate their leaders and their leaders by duplications. So if I find 10 people and they find 10 people, I will have 100 people in my downline. And if that 100 finds another 10 people, I will have then 1,000 people in my line. And all I have to do is apply the duplication model. So here's a question. Would you prefer to start a business with no, would you prefer money to start a business, but you have no clients? Or would you prefer having unlimited leads to start your business, but you have no money? Davis, tell me, which one would you prefer? Unmute yourself. Would it be one or would it be two? Okay, I can see your internet is all right. So don't worry, I'll look at it in the chat because your internet is bad, so don't interfere with your internet. So I apologize for that. So as I heard you said 2, and you're 100% correct, because we have to look at how do we find leads to make our business work. The next part is this: would you like to invest in the following? Invest your time for an income. It stands for job. Now, there's nothing wrong of having a job. Or, I mean, if you abbreviate it if you abbreviate job, it stands for just on broke. So it's depending what you want to do, because a job is one stream of income. But sometimes there's different ways and means of generating additional income to replace it. That makes up 95% of the population who's employed. Or invest and receive an income. That makes up 3%. And what's interesting about this is a lot of us will go on pension and invest into a retirement annuity. Or insurance product, or some form of pension fund. But you get what they call the M3 strategy: invest into multiple streams of income to get time, money, and freedom. Some people might invest in property, and there's multiple streams of income through rental agreements. Or there might be people that's sitting in a job, but also having certain incomes through affiliated marketing, or doing blogs, or doing something of generating income through their websites. So those are things that we're going to touch on. So here's a question, Davies. Would you look at a product where you can have a self-development, where you can have goal settings, visualization, mentorship, coaching, or having a business with a residual income, a passive income that while you sleep, your money is working for you? Or having a business to build and find leaders? Or having a business with endless leads and a tracking tool? Yeah, you can track your leads on a daily basis. How can you track your social media leads from Instagram, through Facebook, through LinkedIn, to check them and bring them into a program that you can check what you've done for this particular person? Or having a platform to create your own videos about the business you're involved in. Doesn't matter if you're in the crypto space, or the health and wellness, or the coaching business, where you can create your own videos and send out your own referral link to make your business work. Or having an international business with multiple sources of income, where you can link into 20 or 30 different MSIs, from health and wellness to crypto to coaching. Or would you like to have all of the above? Well, most of us will go for all of the above. And Bill and Rini and myself, we're in a platform that does all of this, but even more. So let me explain to you how I put my ecosystem together. This might not be for you, and it's just an idea the way I plan my business. So number one, I look at the self-development company, which is Noble Goldman. In Noble Goldman, there's 3 revenue streams. One for self-development, other one is a quest where we can share information how to create additional income using self-development, from visualization, affirmations, building relationships, having masterminds. Then they've got the vault, which you can bring in your own coaching business. But I forgot, in Noble Goldman, they've got also an MSI division where you can bring in your own MSI. Doesn't matter if it's crypto, doesn't matter if it's health or wellness. So you can start bringing that in with a lot of byproducts by checking your information, checking your leads, sending out your funnels. All of that is in Noble Goldman, which is an awesome tool. Number two is I'm involved in the crypto space, but mainly in the training how blockchain works, and that is GS Partners. I'm also in the Forex business, which is Cash FX. All of these, both of these platforms is in Noble Goldman. I'm also in the crowdfunding business called Coop Crowd, and it's a 50-50. They've been established since 2001, and it's a pay it forward system, and I generate a passive income through that as well. So does Bill, and so does Rini, and we're quite happy with this type of product. Then I'm in health and wellness because in 2015, I was diagnosed with cancer and I had to look after my health. And one of my sponsors approached me and says, try New Life. And they've got certain products which helped me out by just looking after my diet. It also helps. There's also products in there where it's got sanitizers. It's not got to do with any alcohol base, which I use. And you can clean your pots, you can clean everything with that type of product, which is care, which is a great platform to be in. Then I'm in property. So what do I do with the property? So all my income I'm generating through my social media platforms, through my ecosystem. I then use that money for a deposit, get a rental, bring that money in back into the property, use the Grant Cardone methodology to generate more leases, more income. So I can build a legacy for my kids using my property portfolio. I've got my short-term goal where I can generate the income. And then I've got my medium-term goal, which I can go on holiday. And one of my dreams is to go visit Bill and Rennie in my RV with my wife and just to have fun. So this is what we're trying to do, is we're trying to establish that we can all work together as a team without trying to sell something, but working as a team to build leaders by applying duplication. So yeah, there's a multiple streams of income work. So let's start with Noble Goldman. Noble Goldman is a self-development company and is not a quick rich scheme. Is how to build leaders and how we can create masterminds on a daily basis. As exactly what we're doing here. This is one of the masterminds, and I run 3 masterminds in Noble Goldman. Rini runs a couple. And Bill and I do one every Thursday on the crypto space. The first platform is $60, where you get 50% commission on tier 1. Then in Noble Goldman, they've got a 30-day quest, which is a self-development training course. So every day there's a video that you listen to. There is a flight chart where you can do your visualization, affirmation, how much time you spent on it, what is your wins, what is your challenges. And the affiliated program is a 3-tier affiliated program, which tells you where you can get 50% as first tier, 15 second tier, 10% on third tier, which they give back nearly 75% of the income. How awesome is that? So that is the one side. Then you can go into the vault. The vault is $100 a month. So now that you've taken your $50 or your $60, and I'm going to go into the next slide because you've got $30 and you can times it by 10, and I'm going to explain it to you a bit later on. But if you look at the vault, 50%, all you have to do is to bring in 2 people, and then your vault is paid for. How awesome is that? And if you just duplicate it with 10 people or 2 people, and those 2 do 10, it becomes a numbers game. And while it's generating an income, while you're sleeping, how awesome is it? So that's why I apply the 10 by 10 by 10 ruling. So let's go into the cash flow model. As I said, the gold star, if you bring 10 people in at $60, you're going to get 50% back. You've got $300. What you basically do, you take the $30 of that and you start the quest. You duplicate that with your team, you're going to get $150 in your first line. Now, that's not per month. I made a mistake there. It is once off $150. Tier 2, if they do a 10 by 10 by 10, you're going to get $450. If you do it by the 10 by 10 again, you're going to get $3,000. So now bear in mind, we started with a gold star with $60. We duplicated to go to the quest, and now we're going to go and duplicate again the vault. And you'll see what happens then. Now you're generating in your first level $500 a month, second tier $1,500 a month, third tier $10,000 a month. How much did you start off with? You started off with $60. And all what you've done is you showed the people in your downline it's got to do with duplication. Now, if I go into the next slide, I've got money through my Noble Goldman without touching any of my personal money. I started with my self-development of $60. I can now come in to his GS partners, which I've just increased to a $199 package, or let's call it just a 49, just to earn commission. And that goes 9 levels deep. Cash FX is $300. I'm just going to duplicate exactly what I've done from day one with my first 10 people. And all I'm doing is I'm duplicating the different MSIs I'm involved with my my team. Just hang on, what happened there? I will then do with Coop Crowd, which is a matrix of starting off with $25, 6 levels deep. I think this is a fantastic program. It's all got to do with duplication, paying it forward, and you don't even know where your money is coming from because it just is by sharing information, sharing your links, and at the end of the day, money lands in your back office. The new life, you can start off as little as 46. You can get paid by customers as well as building an affiliated side as well on that. And this is how the property side comes in by flipping or renting properties, by generating income coming through. And the reason why I also brought in the property, because it's also good debt. The reason why I call it good debt, because it's a tax write-off, because you're using banks' money to flip properties and renting properties. So you can write it off on repairs on the properties because you're sitting with a bond. And I'm not going to go into that too much. I do a special training on that as well. So in the GS Partners, there is a GS Lifestyle card. I'm not going to go into much of the brand, but I can get my monies paid into this crypto card, which has got 7 different cryptos, as well as 5 different fiat currencies from the US dollars, pounds, euros, the Japanese yen, and the Chinese money. So I can get my commission paid in there, and every time anybody swipes that card, I get money. Who's ever purchased a card through GS Partners and who's in my downline. So it's another source of income. So now, if I gonna go into a deep dive to market these different products, is why I'm doing this training, is to understand why we need leaders. Because a lot of people will come into this business and 70% will do 0 recruits. 20% will do between 1 and 2. 5% will do between 3 and 5. 3% will do between 6 and 9. And 2% of the recruits will do more than 10. Because this is where the 98%, or let's call it the 80-20 concept, comes in. 20% of the people will do most of the business, but 2% will do the extra bit. So as you'll see, the group that's highlighted from 70% to 3% only does 30% of new business or recruits. But the 2% will build leaders, business builders, changing their lives, but not just their lives, but also the family lives. And they will do more than 70% of business. Or recruit 70% and do 27% of all new businesses. Now, applying the 20 day, 20 recruits or 20 leaders in 30 days, what happens? 12 recruits will do something. 8 will do something in 90 days. 1 will do 50% of the 4. And 2 will be active after 5 years. But the problem comes in if you're not going to work fast. That's what happens in 30 months. Only 8 recruits will do something. 4 will do something, same as the other slide, in 90 days. 1 will do 50% of the 4. And the question will be asked, is this business for you? Yes or no? You know, because some people will just say, yeah, I'm in it, but it's not their heart. It's because nobody taught or coached or mentored people to get into the business, because a lot of us has been scammed, trying to bring us in to be a forced seller, because everybody just wants commission. As I said, understand you have to bring in leaders that people purchase from people, not just to sell. And next week, I'm going to do, after this training, I'm going to show people how to sell that people rather buy, between buying and selling. So what happens is, to get into this business, success loves speed. And you have to apply the duplication model, because if you don't, you're going to run out of runway. And in my presentation after this, I'm going to go into a deep dive why success loves speed and how to use your different scripts. So what would the value be if you do the 20 by 20 ruling or the 10 by 10? What would your upfront commission be? Doesn't matter in what product you are. Unmute myself. What would your bonuses be? What would your extra customers? How many extra customers will you have? What would your income be in 12 months? Your passive income, your rank advantage, to become the role model and create a status that people can follow you. So in South Africa, we work in rands. Some African countries and all over the world, they all work with different currencies, but the dollar is a currency that we all measure by. What would your income be worth if you just follow the success loves speed methodology, which is set out by Worre? You need to decide, is this for you? Are you hungry enough to do this type of business? Are you coachable? Can you be mentored? Are you prepared to face your fears? So if this is for you, I'm going to go back into the Noble Goldman platform where I will show you that you can start generating unlimited leads in Noble Goldman. They've got a social media platform where you can track your Facebook page, your LinkedIn, Instagram. Is this lead hot or cold? Where did this lead come from? From which campaign? So in Noble Goldman, we've got about 27 different mastermind campaigns where you can become a moderator and start generating leads from that. It's also got a tracking tool where you can start tracking your daily method of operations, from sending them a link, bring them into your product. Doesn't matter what MSI it is. You might have your own MSI, but it's a nice platform where you can start looking at different opportunities of bringing customers back into your business. And you can have notes in the business. So on the front end of this platform, you can start see how many candidates you brought in, how many members, how many partners, and how many leaders. Now this slide, what I've got here is about, I would say about a year old, but I've created a nice platform of leaders in my business. I've also got a lot of people that's purchasing from me, which is customers, which is not necessarily leaders, and they just like purchasing the products. So let's listen to what Eric has to say.
And finally, let me just leave you with this. 3 things. Every single one of you need to think bigger than you're currently thinking. The world is not served by you playing.
Can you turn your volume up a little bit, Ron?
Okay, just hang on, Bill. We just put it. Just hang on 1 second. I just want to stop the share there. I want to go back into share. Come on.
Double your goals. And
can you
That's
hear it
better.
now, Bill?
That's better, yes.
double them again. If you don't have goals that make you sweat a little bit, that scare you a little bit, you're playing too small. The world is not served by you playing small. Think bigger. Number 2, it's time to be stronger. You need to be stronger. Stronger than your circumstance, stronger than your excuses, stronger than your upline or downline, stronger than the company, stronger. Take charge. Stop blaming. You got this. And number 3, you need to move faster. Success loves speed. Slow and steady does not win the race. If you're going to do it now. If you're going to register for GoPro, register today. If you're going to recruit 20 people, instead of in 30 months or 30 weeks, recruit 20 people in 30 days. Same people, completely different result. Success loves speed.
So why don't you join us on the International Mastermind Group, track your daily goals, get support, doesn't matter what business you're involved in, and get endless leads to make your business work, and many more. So on that note, any questions? Welcome, Rudy.
Any?
Hi, Ron and Bo and whoever that other person is.
It's Davies. Now, Rennie, what I'm going to do now is after the call, what I just done now is basically every Wednesday. It's the same format I'm using every Wednesday. So I'm going to go into part 2 is what happens if you get rejections in your business. So I've created another PowerPoint that goes into a deep dive on rejections.
I love it. I love your presentation, and I think it's very comprehensive. And I like some of the points that you point out about, success loves speed. We all kind of have a lot of doubts, fear and doubt and all that. I think, making the decision is very, very important, even when you're here. That's kind of my mode all my life, is that I decide very fast, and I I do things when I'm afraid. And sometimes you have to do that to succeed. Otherwise, you will just be going around and around and be stagnant because you're not making any decision to do anything.
Rini, you're 100% correct. And what is important is that we need an accountability partner, and to have an accountability partner that we can share on a daily basis. Now, we can always create an accountability group and we just touch base once a week and find out where your wins and where your challenges are and how we can help each other to grow. So, I mean, I'm just looking at maybe a group of maybe 5 or 6. I mean, I'm just thinking aloud, and maybe we can do something like that and share and find out how can we help each other through different marketing opportunities. What do you think about that?
Sounds good. I mean, like, for example, I actually does 3 masterminds. 2 of them are Think and Grow Rich, and the other one is my book, To Deserve It. In the book Mastermind, we basically kind of, well, I do my little presentation, but then for the most part, it's really sharing about what are people's struggle, what are each person have their own project and their goals and dreams, and yet they have restriction, including myself. All of us do, right? But each of us approach it differently. For example, when I retired from 9 to 5, I go from one what is shiny object to the next, trying to figure out, because what I was lacking was contribution. And I have because I'm retired, I worked for many years at San Diego State University. So, and plus I've always invested in real estate, in stocks, and I'm always I'm very into finances and stuff. And when I ended up, eventually I get into the coaching business, but I like the coaching thing for the contribution part, but I don't like the business part. I don't like marketing. I don't like selling, with Noble Goldman or with any kind of business. You need to sell your product, whether you're a Noble Goldman or you're a coach or anything, any business you need to sell. And I don't like that marketing and selling piece. And so that's why I decided to invest in crypto and this other thing. But then even with the new thing that I just invested with the
The 50-50
crowdfunding. Yeah, even with that, it has team building in it. So it seems like no matter what you do, there's a team building involved in it. And that's the part of my, so, like with the crypto investment, I love the Bitcoin investment. And I kind of focus on that because I'm doing it by myself more than having other people involved. I mean, each person is different. So I get to contribute to my mastermind. But yet, as far as the financial piece, well, first of all, I'm able to sustain myself. But as far as growth, I use MSI to help me with that portion of the
Rini, and I just loved it, what you just said there, because it just flows in so nicely into my next presentation. So exactly what you're saying, there's a lot of people out there like you, because we don't want to be classed as salespeople. We want to get people to buy from us. And this is what I'm going to show you how to do it.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, yeah, I know. That's awesome though, Ron, that you're teaching all this stuff, because I think a lot of people are in my same boat where you have the passion and you like to do that part that you like. But then with any business, there's always that marketing and selling component in it. And that's the part that always take me back and like, I don't love that.
Okay, and this is what I'm and this is what I'm going to show you now. So let's just go through this. How do you turn a no into a yes? But the first thing what we have to do is we have to look at the objections. And this is where a lot of us say, I don't have the money. Or I don't think I can do it. I'm not a marketer. Or no, it's not for me. Or I don't have the time. Or this is a pyramid scheme. We all get of that, and there's probably another 10, 20 different types of objections out there, but I just picked 5 of them, which normally crosses my desk. And I've done a bit of homework to find out, how do I handle all of these objections? And maybe this may or may not help you, but this could be some form of guideline. Yeah, we can take this to the next level. So let's look at I don't have the money. And this is a script that you can put forward or say to the person, I appreciate what you are saying. I've been there before in my life. Are you saying you really don't have the money? Or is it just a nice way of saying no? So you don't hurt my feelings. You see, all of a sudden, by applying this type of script or speaking to the person, what is he going to say? No, really, I haven't got the money. Or yes, it actually, yes, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. So what are you going to say thereafter if he says, yes, I don't want to hurt your feelings, because you might say, I haven't got the time, I haven't got, this is not for me. So I'm not going to go into depth of this because it will flow through to the couple of other scripts I put together. Or you can say to him, well, you haven't got the money, but here's a question. Would you like to learn about how we could work together and get your product for less or for free? Like, for instance, Noble Goldman. Well, it's a free platform. Why don't you join us, work with our mastermind group, and see if it's for you, and see how we can put a team together that you can start monetizing. So why don't you just join us? It's free. So all of a sudden, you take the money thing out of it by showing people that you can get into this product. Or I say, I've been in the same situation as you, and this is what I did. Well, you know what? We've all gone through a difficult time, especially with the pandemic, and some of us have lost our jobs. I lost my overtime, or my wife lost her job, or I've been retrenched. You can have all of those type of questions depending who your customer is. But let's say, for instance, I haven't got the money, but this is what I've done. I wanted to get into the crypto space or the health and wellness space, and I know it's going to help me to generate an extra income. I went into my garage, found 2 bicycles and a surfboard. I put it onto Facebook Market and I sold it. And I had enough money to purchase my package. What have you got to sell to get you to the next level? So those are things you can utilize to put people in that they feel comfortable, that they can relate to you, that they know you also went through a difficult time. So those are things that will help you when a person says, I don't have the money. So here's another script. Has there ever been something you couldn't afford that was important, that you knew you had to do it anyway? Very important. Let me read it again. Has there been something you couldn't afford that was important that you knew you had to do it anyway? So as soon as he answers a question, either he's going to say no or yes, but 99% of the time he's going to come back and say yes. So that's how you leverage that quote to bring them back into your business, with trying to show to them why they need to purchase the product instead of you not trying to sell the product. There's another one. I don't think I can do it. So you can maybe use this, for instance, I told you already, I suck at marketing, I'm afraid. Or wouldn't be able to market or to make it work. So those are the questions that normally come through. I don't know how to do it and all of this type of thing. So let me ask you this question after if they give you this information. Is there's treat it like a life or death situation. Or if you have no job, no money, or you have to make something happen. What are you gonna do differently? If you need food on the table, or you need those school fees or get that university fees for your kids, what are you gonna do differently? And I say everybody is born a marketer. All you need to know is how to get that point across. And women are probably the best marketers around. And the reason why I say the best marketers, because when they have kids, and let's say it's a toddler is a year and a half old or 2 years old, they will have the baby on the hip, cook the food, dish up, clean, and do everything. They know how to multitask. But one thing, what they will also do is while they got the baby on the hip and the baby doesn't want to eat his food, you'll always turn around to the baby and says, open your mouth, mommy's got a sweetie. Isn't that sales? So sometimes we have to do the baby talk to get the customer in. So I initially said the same thing. Let me ask you, what caused you to say, I can't market, I can't do this thing, I can't do that thing? Ask those questions, because what you're basically doing is you're creating a relationship. You're asking questions for the door to open for you. So there's another script you can use. I don't think I can do it. You already know there is no guarantees in life, but there is an opportunity with a company. So it could be Noble Goldman, it could be New Life, it could be whatever it is. It is simple. You have to follow the program on self-development if you want to become that better person. Or if you want to lose weight to reduce your sugar, you have to do something about your diets. Is how you use that script to make it work. We're living in a new way of thinking. It's not like the old ways when I was in the life assurance when you used to do the door knocking. We're all doing some form of communication on Facebook, liking a person's page or sending them a private message. That's all what we're doing, but we just have to choose the right wording to bring him in to the business that he can buy the product from us. Or ask him, how will you know until you tried it? They won't know until they try it. Because, I mean, it's easy to say no, or it's not for me. If you ask him, how do you know it's not for you? Just be blunt. You see, most of us are too scared for a no because we're so scared of rejection. How would your life be different if you did it? If I give you an extra $2,000 a month, how will it change your life? Or if I give you addition $5,000, how will it change your life? Or if I give you $100, in some countries it might just be $50. How will it change your life? Or the question is, what if you were wrong that you don't know how to do it? Now, let me tell you a story. When I got into business in 1992, bear in mind, I'm dyslexic, I'm ADD, and I was a big introvert. I mean, I couldn't speak to people because I was worried that people is going to laugh at me because because of my stuttering problem. But I pushed through the terrier barrier, and I says, if somebody can do it, I can do it. Because when I went to a particular broker's house, insurance salesman, he stayed in 1,000 square meter property. I don't know what's that in feet. And I said, what do you do? He says, I sell insurance. And I says, but if he can do it, so can I. And I gave 24 hours notice, resigned, and I walked into the life assurance industry because I was committed to do something for my life, for my family's life. And bear in mind, I just got married and I just purchased the property. And my first paycheck, what I got, or my first commission check, was more than my annual salary for the company I was working for. Are you prepared to take the risk? Are you prepared to take that opportunity to make it happen? Or are you just going to say no because it's not for you? Because a lot of us focuses on the money and not the opportunity. Or this person that says, I just want to see, just hang on, I've just got something in my way. No, it's not for me. I tried it. So ask him, why didn't it work? And just wait for the answer. And through this, you can start identifying where the problem is, because a lot of people says, I was promised false promises, and we can get this on social media on a daily basis. Is how we work with that issue. It says, what if I mentor you and guide you through the process? Would you be interested? We're all coaches in a way. We're all mentors in a way. Is this how we have to look at the customer that we want to deal with? You know, sometimes you just get that person says, no, it's not for me. Walk away. They're going to waste your time. But before you walk away, just ask them, do you know of a friend or two that might be interested who's battling to make ends meet? Do you mind giving me their number? And all of a sudden, you will get, let me just hang on here, admit. So all of a sudden, you will get the people coming in to you as a referral link coming through to your business. One of the big ones is, I don't have the time. I want to know if Robert Kiyosaki, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, or the cleaner, the street hawker, we all got 86 seconds in a day. What are we doing differently? Why are they more successful than anybody else? Because most of us are so focused on time, but how do we focus on the time correctly? By applying proper energy management. So here's something you can add back to the person that says, I initially said the same thing, and then I realized that it's not really a matter of time. It's a matter of self-discipline. How do you manage your time? How much of time do you spend of improving yourself? So you don't have the time to build a financial security that will serve you for the rest of your life? Or are you still happy to have a job just on broke? Just be straight to the point. And just leave that question there and just wait for them to respond. Don't try and close a question for them. Ask them, how much time do you think it takes? And 90% of the people says, I don't know. Well, let me tell you the way my day works. I just do an hour in the morning and I do an hour in the evening. That gives me 10 posts on Facebook, 10 posts on LinkedIn. Instead of surfing Facebook, why don't you just use that as a time that you can canvas and ask people how their day was by bringing them into your business. You're on Facebook anyway. So those are things that you can start working with to make your life a bit easier. Is this a pyramid scheme? And they will also come back and say they're the only ones that make money. And you'll just ask them, what do you mean? Just wait. Or, really, what causes you to say that? Let them answer the question. Don't answer the question for them. Or they'll say, I'm not on top of the pyramid. You just turn around to them and says, well, you might not be on top of it. I'm not on top of it either, but I'm making the money. So if that is an excuse, it's up to you. I'm not worried who's on top of me. I'm still making the money. Would you like to join me and let me show you? Or define on top. People don't understand because they hear what other people say. Or ask them, what is a pyramid scheme? And a lot of them will say, no, it looks like a triangle. But explain it to me. I'm not 100% sure what a pyramid scheme is. I says, the only thing I know what a pyramid scheme is, I'll call it a bank. And the reason why I mention a bank is because I will invest with a bank and get 2% return per annum on my money, and they'll use my money to lend out to other people, and they'll take an interest of anything from 32% and maybe less. It starts with the CEO who pushes their directors to get more people to lend money out. The director sends it out to their team leaders. The team leader sends it out to the staff, and everybody works on bonuses. The only one that's losing out is the staff. For me, that's a pyramid scheme. Don't you think so? Now that we've got rid of all the negatives, how do you close a deal? Step one, if you start every call on a face-to-face conversation with feeling that you're hungry, you'll find your invitation will be shorter, there will be less questions, and people will respect you and your time much more. In the business that we are in, we're always in a hurry, guys. Step two, I'm running out the door, but I need to talk to you really quick, or just send a message out. I'm just getting into a mastermind, but I need to chat to you very quick. Do you mind? And you can use something like this. If I told you there was a way to increase your cash flow without jeopardizing what you are doing right now, would you be interested? Did I try to sell something? I've created a curiosity for this particular person. Step three, if I would you, this is probably one of the most important questions in any business. Doesn't matter if you're selling a house, doesn't matter if you're selling a car, whatever. This is one of the things that I learned from Eric Worre. If I would you. To give you an idea, if I send you a video that describes the business, would you watch it? Did I market anything? I just asked him if I sent you something. Step 4. When do you think you could watch it? Watch the link for sure. When do you think you could watch it? The link for sure. Leave the question there, and the person might come back and say maybe tomorrow or so. Don't suggest a time for them. Let them give the time. Ask a question and have them give you the time. If it's not definite, I'll try to do something. Then tell them, I don't want to waste your time or mine. Why don't we just try to lock down a time, but like for a time you'll have seen it for sure. So those are questions that you can just put forward to them and just let them come back to you. Don't try to push them. So if you go into step 4 or step 5, and let's say for instance it's January, if they say they'll watch a link by the 21st of January, your response should be, so if I call you on the 22nd at 10 o'clock, you'll have watched it for sure, right? So now you put the question forward to them. You still haven't solved anything to them. What you're basically doing is just creating a conversation between you and your customer. What is the best number and time for me to call you on? Great, we'll talk then. Got to run. You see how simple it is. We just created small little bullet points without going into depth about the product. It's your product that has to sell, not you. They've watched the video and they're busy having a one-on-one with a prospect. Ask them the following questions. What did you like most about the video? Don't ask them, did you like the video? Ask them what did they like most about the video. Again, if I set you up with Ron on a three-way call, would you be interested? Apply the ruling. If I then invite you to a presentation, would you go? So let's put it here. While I have you on the call, would you mind if I get Ron on a three-way call so I can explain it better? He can explain it better than me. So your third party will close a deal. So if Bill is my sponsor, I will refer to Bill and says, hey, Bill, do you mind explaining this to Rini? So those are things that will help you to close a deal. So you see, you don't have to be a marketer. All you do is understand your scripts and let your third-party tools do the work. Or you can use a three-way tool, for instance, Zoom, Facebook Room, or just a normal three-way calls. And the trick to everything is, remember to say as little as possible to as many people as possible, and let your third-party tools do the work. These scripts came from Eric Worre. So as I say, be part of your mastermind group, check your daily goals, get support, doesn't matter what business you're involved in, get endless leads to make your business work, and many more. So guys, any questions on this presentation?